Okay, here we are again with Noam Kral Gilad on July 4th, United States Independence Day, which for me, as a United States citizen, a country that I deeply love, um, is a great day. A great day for the world. First, um, well, the first democracy, really, and well, America is a great place, and the masters, the ascended masters like Saint Germain, had a lot to do with the founding of the United States, a lot, especially Saint Germain, but not only, and it's a place of great light, and also there's great darkness, but that's the world we live in. So today is a special day, and I have no idea, as usual, what Noam is going to bring us today, but I do love that. So, hello Noam, how are you today?
Hi, I'm very good, thanks. And the same as you, I don't know anything about what is going to come.
Okay.
And I open myself with love to accept whatever comes.
Okay. So do I. Amen.
I
Let's all open ourselves for the highest good and in love.
I just can say, the only thing that I can say that I have a book that is written about Saint Germain and about USA. And there
about
is
what?
USA.
USA, yes.
And in this, it's a channeling book. I don't remember exactly the name of the channeler that wrote it. I read it in Hebrew, of course, not in English.
Of course.
And there is a
so
specific...
your English is getting better and better
I
and
hope.
better. Yes. Well, it's flowing. Okay, no. Yes.
Okay. When I do not have to speak about something professional, so it's fluently.
Yes.
But when it's professional, I'm stuck.
No, you're not stuck. No, you're doing great. Better and better. Okay, and about
so
the book.
and in this book, in that book, there were two things. First of all, there was a chapter about the part or the tafkid,
the role
of the Jews.
Okay.
And about the independence of America.
Wait, the role of the Jews in what? In the
world.
In the world,
and also
for good
in
and
the
for
building.
bad. A lot of good and a lot of not so good.
And
yes.
And in this book, there was also a chapter. There is a chapter that speaks about the New Jerusalem.
Yes.
And it ומתייחס.
It relates.
It relates to America.
Yes.
That America is the New Jerusalem.
Well, the founding fathers, you understand, the founding fathers were always using this type of expression for the United States. And in the Keys of Enoch, they're always talking about the United States in this kind of, I think they use that phrase quite a lot. And even in the word Jerusalem, they point out in the word Jerusalem, be'emsa, milah ba'anglit, in the middle of the word in English, you have USA in English. But, yeah, okay.
So just when you spoke about Master Saint Germain, I remember that they wrote there a lot about his part in this independence of...
he had a huge part.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what, because I read this book many years ago. I don't remember, but I do remember that this book there, she channeled Master Saint Germain, and he spoke about his role in this.
And also, here's something that I have not, maybe I'll never understand it. One day, maybe I will, the Freemasons. Bonim HaChofshi, the Freemasons. George Washington was a Freemason. Benjamin Franklin was a Freemason. I believe Thomas Jefferson was a Freemason. The founding fathers, most of them, the great ones, they were Freemasons. Not Jews, but Freemasons. And people like Thomas Jefferson brought huge light to the world. all of them at that time. They brought big light. The United States was a huge light, and is a huge light for the world. And I do believe that the Freemasons have gone to the dark side.
Yes, I heard it.
I do believe it, and so, that confuses me. And Saint Germain was, well, as I understand, I don't know, but from what I've read and heard, he was the one who got the Freemasons so established. It was his great project. So I don't know how something, but things of great light can often go dark. That's been human history. Okay? And then once you get the establishment in place, light can become dark very easily. So I don't need to know. And
I just can say one thing, that everything is by the divine plan.
Yes.
So sometimes if there is something that has to happen for the good of all the evolution, so sometimes we do have to understand that what we see, it's a little part of a giant puzzle, and most of the time we do not see even the whole part. We see a piece of this part, and by this piece of this part we try to make conclusions about all the picture. And it's lack.
We lack the full picture.
Yes. So, and more than this, sometimes when there is a very, very, very strong light, if you look inside, you see like a dark.
Yes.
So, you know that in the main point, the Or Ein Sof, the Most High God.
And the Or Ein Sof is the infinite light.
Everything is one.
Everything is one.
There is no division between. There is no duality between the things, because everything is one. Everything has the same source, the same point. But for us and for all the development and for all the creation, there was the dark and there was the light.
And there's light in the dark.
And also,
there's a phrase in the New Testament: those who sit in the darkness and seek apparently and go within will find their bodies will be filled with light. And so this is the yin yang.
It's not such sharp as you say it, because it's much more complicated than this, because it will be very hard for me to speak in English, but I'll try.
Or you could say it in Hebrew and I'll do my best.
Once I had a channeling with Lucifer.
Oh, very, very interesting. Now the name of Lucifer is carrier of light.
Right.
Okay.
And it was in a treatment that I did to someone.
Okay.
Which is also a great teacher and a great channeler, etc.
Okay.
And because she has connections with him, she asked me to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I saw something which was very interesting. I saw like he is making to himself החזרת חלקיקי נשמה.
He's returning aspects of his own soul back to himself.
Yes, but of darkness.
Dark aspects of his soul. And then that he's returning to himself.
Yes. And then I started to ask him, and I have to say in בסוגריים,
like in parentheses,
that sometimes people arrive to me because they have things which are not easy with him, and I have to do work to release things. And then in my relationship with him, I can say, it's thank God I don't feel fear.
But
because I'm always looking in the dark side in me to heal it.
What?
To heal.
To heal it. Yes.
And because of this, I know that everything which is darkness outside, it's shikuf,
It's a
reflection of something that we have inside.
Yeah.
So I know that I do not have to be afraid of something outside. I have to look inside. And this is the reason that something which is from outside doesn't makes me fear. And this is the reason that I can work with it.
Whoa,
Because all the time I try to look and I try to work once again and to change once again. This is one of the works that I'm doing with myself all the time. Try to.
Okay.
And then I asked him, this is the reason that we have respect to each other, me and him. It's not something which is...
I'm sure you do.
And I asked him, what is exactly going on? Because I see people that are very hurted from you. And from the other side, I know that also you came from the light.
Yes.
So what is the point? And he said to me, you have to understand, my true highest essence came from the light, but my part in your words and in all of the things is of the darkness. So it's like that there is a seed of light inside and a lot of שכבות. איך אומרים שכבות?
Layers
of darkness.
Yes.
But you have to understand that if you want to help me to improve myself, not love and not light and not war will help you. Only one thing. If you look inside, and when you will take care of your darkness inside, you can heal me.
Jesus Christ.
Every person that
Jesus
heals,
Christ.
he said to me that every person that heals his deepest dark sides into, not by making them, not by fighting them, but to cure them.
To embrace it, to accept it.
Not only.
And
not
to
only.
transmute it.
Yes.
Yes.
It's to accept it, but also to heal it.
Yes.
Because there are wounds there
Yes.
that has to be healed. And he said to me that everyone that do this work and work on himself helps him to take off another shichva
Layer.
of darkness from him.
Wow. No, wow.
מזמן כבר. It was very long time ago.
Okay.
But he said to me also that in this time he still has to do his part of
Yes.
darkness.
Yes.
And in this time he is still unconnected to the light that in his essence. But he also said to me that like every other creature in this not universe, in this creation, he also has his most high will is also to connect once again to the light.
That's amazing statement.
But this is the reason that we have to understand that there, I mean, in the most high point, everything is one. But when the duality becomes, here we have the good and we have the bad. Here we have the light and we have the
Yes.
dark. So, and it's true that in the middle of the dark there is light and there is love, but it's so covered with many other things, and because the part of the darkness is a specific part, that the role of the darkness is a specific role, he still has to do his work. But our work, because everything is connected to everything, is to work on ourselves.
Yes, no.
And as much as we do the work on the most darkness parts, we help also him and also the whole creation. Because everything is like a net.
A web.
Reshet.
A web, a matrix, and we're all connected.
Yes. So everything that one makes, it's influenced in ways that we cannot understand. Because it's we see it like three-dimensional, but it's much more complicated than this. And this is the reason that I said to you, it's not so sharp. It's more complicated.
A couple of things I want to say. One, the Course in Miracles says about all of us it's not that they're bad or he's bad or I'm bad. It's not where we're bad. It's where we're wounded. Okay. So if you think somebody is out there in the world doing evil, or you have something dark, evil inside, it's not where we're bad. That's where we're wounded.
Let's say it's not. Once again, it's
there is
not
evil, and there is.
It's not
good
right.
and bad,
It's not.
but to understand,
Eliyahu, your tendency, is not to see the bad, but there are also things that are not good.
I know.
And there
I
are.
know.
Everything is a part of the תוכנית אלוהית, the divine plan. But also there is a free choice. And one of the free choices also if I want to take care of myself or not.
Yes.
If
yes,
I
yes,
want.
I don't deny that.
And also if I choose, how do I choose to react to things that happens to me? It's also a free choice. And you can act from your wants or you can act from another place.
Yeah, but you need a certain level of awareness.
Of course.
In order to make that decision.
Of course.
And many people don't have that. One other thing, what's difficult in when we use the word darkness, when we use the word darkness, it's a little complicated because darkness is, in the Temple of Solomon, in the Beit Mikdash. Haven't you ever gone into a dark room and there's no physical light, but the room is filled with light?
I don't understand what you said now. But for me, Solomon, it's not light. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's interesting. Another conversation for another day. But what I'm saying, the point I'm making is...
Oh, excuse me, is not a pure light.
Okay.
Because he has also things of the darkness.
Okay, that's an interesting statement for another day, maybe. Or for today, whatever.
We'll see
what I'm saying is, when I was using the word darkness, like the phrase in the Amirah, in the New Testament,
in the New Ma?
In the Brit HaChadash,
Brit Chadasha.
There's a statement which I just heard the other day. Those who sit in the darkness will and look within will have a great light. Low darkness in the sense of bad, darkness in the sense of no physical light. I mean, you can
לפרש, איך אומרים לפרש?
Darkness does not mean יש חושך וחושך. יש חושך סתם בגלל אף אחד הדליק מנורה פיזי, אבל יש חדרים בלי אור פיזי, אבל מלא אור. What I'm saying is there's rooms that you haven't turned on a physical light, but there's great light in the room.
I'm not speaking about physical light. I'm not speaking about physical light. Because physical light, for me, it doesn't matter, physical or not physical.
Yes,
I'm speaking about the main, about the source.
But
at the beginning, the darkness was a lack of light.
Yes.
At the beginning, no evil, not everything like this, but because it was unlimited emptiness, it had to lishov, to pump light.
It needed to suck light.
Yes, and
it needed to receive light.
Yes, and to do this, he had to create many other tools, and a few of the tools that he created were also evil. Were also things.
I have no doubt about that. Okay.
So
that's all.
The things are different here and at the main point, because at the main point everything is the same. There is no light and there is no dark. There's only shlemut. איך אומרים shlemut? Wholeness.
Okay.
But when it divides to physical word,
you need it. You need the dark.
Yes.
You need the shadow and the light.
Yes. It's one of the tools for us to learn. for
Very
us
well.
to cure ourselves.
For us to see. If there weren't shadow, we wouldn't identify anything.
Exactly.
Because you need
The
shadow and light.
השוואה, to compare,
To
the
compare.
compression, איך אומרים השוואה? Comparance.
To compare. Comparison. The comparison.
Between the duality, this is what gives us to learn. As he said, if we do not know what is a day, we cannot understand what is night.
But now we're moving into a time when in the future there will still be duality, but it'll be a softened duality. Yitarach.
Yeah, that's
Not
for sure.
so.
That's for sure.
Not such a hard duality like what we've seen. Okay, no. So, what do they want to talk about today?
I don't know. We will see.
Okay. Hiya.
First of all, I invite us all to sit comfortably, to close our eyes and to take few soft breaths into our hearts, into our belly. And I invite every one of us to ask from the Most High God to put a huge tube around us of light and love, and to ask the love of God to come to us through our chakra, crown chakra, into our all bodies. And when we inhale, we enter this love into all our body, first of all to our physical body, and when we exhale, we just spread this energy also to our energetic bodies. And we do it until we reach our feet. And at the same time, I invite all of us to ask our DNA to agree, to accept, to sponge, to absorb this love, this healing, this compassion, this strength and softness, and also this nurturing of the most deep love that we can accept from the Most High God.
Jesus. Dear God. Dear God.
And when we reach our feet, we will take another deep inhale, and when we exhale, we will be attuned the energy into our feet, and we will imagine that our legs become longer and longer and longer, and our feet enter into the ground deeper and deeper until it reaches the heart of Mother Earth. And we continue to breathe the love of the Most High God into our bodies and attune it into our feet. We give our feet to sink a little into this energy of Mother Earth. And when we inhale and exhale the energy of the love, of the divine love, we just anchoring it into the heart of Mother Earth in the way that we feel it's appropriate for us to do it. And when we do it, we start to pump the energy of Mother Earth through our feet when we feel its softness, its warmness,
Jesus.
its love, and we attune ourselves to accept the essences of grounding, stability, ביטחון, confidence,
security or confidence. Security or
Security.
confidence.
security, sourcing, that means rootedness, nurturing, presence, and support.
Yeah.
And when we inhale this energy, we do it through our feet, and when we exhale, we just spread the energy also once again in all of our energetic bodies.
Hey.
And we do it until we arrive to our crown chakra, and exactly as we did before, we are speaking with love to our DNA and ask him, dear DNA, please accept and absorb into you these qualities of energy, that they will become to be once with you, one part with you. And we continue with our breathing of this energy.
Forward to it there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And when we arrive to our crown chakra, we built a tube from our crown chakra to the heart of the Most High God. And by this tube, we pass the energy of the heart of Mother Earth to the heart of the Most High God. And we will ask to stay grounded for all the time of this process that we're going to have now.
God.
Now I invite, with a very deep love, the Most High God, the one God, the one Lord Melchizedek, and the order of Melchizedek, and the Lord's order. I don't remember exactly how to say it in English.
The Elohim?
The Elohim
order. The order of the Elohim.
Yes. And also the order of heaven.
Yeah.
Which I see Isis, which comes with it.
Yeah.
And I invite, with a lot of love, all the family that works with us all the time. In Hebrew, I know the word pamalia. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's the whole group that comes every time when I invite them.
Okay.
And I ask them to be with us, to open merchav,
a space,
to open a space of love,
jeez,
of healing, of hachala, containing, to everything that will be channeled and everything that will be passed for every one of us.
Haya.
And all of us together.
Haya, Teho. Haya, Teho.
I also invite especially the minister of the angels, Metatron, the one, and his armies, and also the archangel, the one archangel, Michael, the one, and his armies.
Jesus Christ. I guess I invite Jesus Christ, since I love him.
He's always with us.
Okay.
Also. And I open myself to accept channeling from every one of this amazing group that wants to bring the channeling.
We are the Teo. Oh yeah. Jesus.
Dear ones, very beloved ones,
hi.
I come to you now. Maybe not to speak a lot, but to bring you my essence, my love and compassion. I am Mother Mary.
Down my pillow to the left. Hey.
The love, the compassion, the softness, and the healing that I feel to you all. It's like that every one of you is my son, and every one of you is my beloved daughter. Imagine yourself now like a little kids that comes together in a giant group, and there is a huge being that cover you, all of you, in her wings, in her love, in her protection, in her compassion, and just let yourself accept it. Dear ones, there are few things that I would like to say to you.
God.
One of your most deeply lessons as souls, big souls that are so regular to see themselves in a little bodies, in the little expression. A lot of you, dear ones, chose to learn what is an existence, what is presence, what is to be in this three-dimensional world. For a lot of you, a lot of your souls, it is a very hard lesson to exist in a body, in a physical body, because your souls are so large, so huge, that for them to be in a body, it's to be like in a jail, because your soul reminds and remember the huge freedom that they have in another dimensions when they are not into your bodies. But loved ones, very deep beloved ones, you have to understand one thing. Your souls chose as a giant and a brilliant parts and roles to bring, to learn, and to cooperate by the choosing to be in a bodies and to create the magnificent net that you do not see. You cannot see yet, because the things that seems to be from our point of view is a miracle. It's something that cannot be understood. But the work that you're doing in your bodies and in the world that you create all the time, and every time when you do a work, you create an own word. You create your own word. And when you do it, you create more universes, even that you do not know it, that you create a new universes which are parallel to your universe. So you know, beloved ones, you are creators, and you are creators much more than it seems to be for you, because it's much more behind any limits that you can imagine. Beloved one, you have to understand that because you chose this lesson, a lot of you feel that you are not deserved. You are not deserved to accept love. You are not deserved to be what you can be. You are not deserved to accept the help of God, the love of God, and the compassion and the cooperating with God. Dear ones and beloved ones, you have to understand that the connection between you and God, the Most High God, is much more than any description, because when you try to describe it as a relationship between father and sons, it limits the connection that between you and the Most High God. It can be said that it's like a merging inside and outside. It's like a breathing. When you breathe, your breath is when you take the light and the air inside, and after it, the circle begins when you also take your light and air outside. The inhale and the exhale create a whole circle. This is exactly the connection between you and the Most High God. Because the connection between you and the Most High God is exactly like a breathing. It's something which is inside, a part of all of the huge. It's one with the huge. And also in the exhale, it becomes two parts, that every part holds the huge whole into it. This is the reason, my loved and beloved ones, that it's so hard to you to understand it, because it's a conflict. How can it be from one side unlimited thing, and from the other side so limit? It's like your soul and your body. Your soul is unlimited, it's forever, and your bodies are all the time changed. This conflict you can understand by your mind, but you have to understand that it's very similar to the conflict that you spoke before, both of you. The conflict of how can it be at the same, dark and light? How can it be that in one point everything is one, and in the other point there are two sides that also fights each other? How can it be? And also, how can it be that you are one with the Most High God and also separated from Him at once? Dear ones and beloved ones, our love for you is so deep. You have to understand, even if it's too hard to understand this conflict, that this is exactly as your cells work in your bodies, because it's like, you can imagine it, that there is something that has a lot of arms. Those arms goes outside to accept the food, to accept the air, to accept everything that in the external world, and they take it inside into this body that contains those arms. And because of it, the arms are also external but also internal at once. It's like that every arm is separated in her part, but it depends, and it's one of the big, of the giant of the whole part, but it's even much more deeper than this, because it's like to be the same things which are duality, things which are polarities. But as you know, dear ones, that where there is no polarity, there is no balance. So for the techniques and for the teachings that you had to learn through all of these circles of earth, and you know that also your universe has circles, and also all the other universes has circles. Also, the breathing of the Creator, of the Most High God, is also a breathing. It's also a circle. So just understand, dear ones, that you are a part of the Most High God, but not only a part. It's like that you are external of Him. There is a part of you that all the time connects and all the time belongs and stays as one drop of water with the ocean. One drop of water, when it enters to the ocean, it melts into the ocean. And that's right, it loses its own identity, but it becomes to be much most high identity of the whole ocean. No limits of identity, no limits of knowledge, no limits of love, no limits of being. And you, beloved ones, chose to be also divided. But you have to understand that into you, you hold the unlimited, the huge and unlimited Most High God. And this is the reason that you're already, איך אומרים סופי? Finally it's לבסוף, it's not the same. It's, you are finishing, but you are also unlimited and unfinished. You are eternal. There is eternal and infinite, and the opposite is final. Okay. Finite. Okay. So you are already finite and infinite
yes.
at once. Dear ones and beloved ones, just give yourself to understand that you are deserved, because you are a part and a God into yourself. You are deserved to the love of the Most High God. You are deserved to the all infinite love and light, embrace, being, presence. And you do not understood yet, my beloved ones, that because you are a part of the infinity, you are infinite, you have to bring this infinite into the final. And this is the reason you chose to arrive to the material world, because your mission is to bring the infinite into the material, which is final. And by doing it, this is the purpose of all the creation. It's to bring the material to be a part of God itself. Just accept now the love, the compassion, and allow yourself, even if it's for a few minutes, to be who you are. You have to understand that the Most High God, as the one God, as everything else, is alive. The breathing is the main process of living. And the Most High God breathes, breathing. And the one God also breathes. And all of us also breathe. And so you do, beloved ones. By the breathing, you can merge the infinity, love, light, and energy of the Most High God with the infinity, love of Mother Earth. Even if Mother Earth is final, but her soul, her love, is as such as yours, infinite. Allow yourself just to accept now, beloved ones. Dear ones, one of the most important things to give you is the understanding, the deep understanding of the compassion. The compassion can build words. The love is very important, but the whole structure is love and compassion, both together. Because every part of the two embraces and strengthens the other part. When there is a compassion, the compassion brings love, much more deep love. As much more deep love comes, the compassion becomes stronger. And when you look on someone only with love, but without compassion, the love may be limited, because the love can see the person in a certain way that not everything can be seen by the compassion eyes. When you look through the compassion, you can see the whole picture, much more whole picture. And when you involve the love and the compassion at both, the picture is whole. Because then the love and the compassion together can bring the cure, the healing to the situation, to the person itself, to the person that you are compassionate and loved also, and to all the aura. The power of the compassion and the power of the love are still not deeply known to you. As much as you can react to yourself in more compassion and love, so you can also react to the others much more compassionate and love. And then, dear ones, you have to understand, and it's important to say to you, a lot of time when you look on your emotions, you judge them, you divide them to good and bad, dark and light. But when you look through a compassionate look, you can understand that also the bad things, the bad feelings are messages that there is a pain that still is needed to be healed. And messages that there is a very deep present into this pain or sorrow, a very deep understanding that this is one of the tools that you got from God to understand, to learn, to build and to rebuild yourself, the connection between the personality of you, between the human being of you, to your magnificent, divine being. You understand, dear ones and beloved ones? Those emotions that you call them bad or not good are tools for you that has been given to you in a purpose to do your journey also to your deep personality, and from there to connect you with your deep divine being, to a whole being. אני לא יודעת אם הסברתי את זה טוב באנגלית, אני אסביר את זה בעברית אליהו, ואם יש משהו לא ברור, אז היא אומרת שהרגשות הקשים שאנחנו שאנחנו רגילים לשפוט אותם כטובים, כרעים, ולהסתכל עליהם כרגשות מוארים או רגשות לא מוארים, הם ניתנו לנו גם כחלק מהמתנה של הכלים שניתנו לנו.
They were given it as part of the package of gifts given to us.
בתור מתנה.
As a gift.
שאנחנו בעצם, המטרה, אני אגיד את זה ככה, המטרה הגבוהה שלהם,
the higher purpose of them is
היא בעצם לגרום לנו לצאת למסע פנימה.
To cause us to go on an inner journey.
כשבמסע הזה אנחנו בעצם מרפאים את האישיות שלנו.
And in this journey we heal our personality.
כשהפרסונליטי הכוונה היא לכל ארבעת הגופים הנמוכים.
Which is connected to the four bodies connected, the lower bodies.
זה פיזי, אתרי, שכלי.
Say it again?
Physical, etherical, emotional and mental.
Okay.
bodies. And from there, ומשם, לעשות את המסע הפנימי,
and from there to do the inner journey,
אל ההוויה האלוהית שלנו.
To our divine experience.
וכך בעצם,
and so, in fact,
לחזור הביתה.
To go home.
באמת, לחזור הביתה. ולהביא אותו לחיים שלנו כאן.
In truth, to go home and to bring it to our lives here on earth.
And this is the reason, my beloved ones, that as you saw, there is a book that calls the Messiah Consciousness.
Okay.
Which is written there that the purpose is to look on the bad things and the good things and love them both at the same way. You understand, my beloved ones, that this is the character of God, because God looks of everything with love. For him, the most little creature in every word is parallel in his importance to the most complicated creature that he created in the whole creation. And when you learn to look on your bad things as a present that can bring you to a higher level, not by ignorance to them, not by depression them, but with accepting them and working and healing with them and them, then you can work and to arrive to your inner journey that connects you with the consciousness of the Messiah, with the consciousness of the Most High God. זה מובן מה שנאמר?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I
understand.
אני לא בטוחה לגבי האנגלית פשוט.
You're doing fine now.
Beloved ones, you have to understand that you cannot reach only the consciousness of God without using as a tools with your developing consciousness of human being. First of all, you have to agree to be human beings in this world And from this point, you can reach the deepest being that you are. So please, my love, do not ignore, do not depress, do not be angry of yourself about those emotions, because they are present, deep present for you. Understand and learn step by step how to look and how to see those presence, how to work with those presence that can give you. presence הכוונה מתנות, לא הווה.
Yes, I understand. Presence.
אני פשוט לא בטוחה שביטאתי נכון.
Like gifts.
Gifts, exactly. And you have to understand that by those tools you can reach very deep and very high and in a very beautiful way of everyone unique that you are. You have to understand, dear ones, that also your mental body, that a lot of you are working with him very hard and very deep, is also a present, is also a gift. Because only now you learn how to work with it, to create your new world, your new reality. Because in your mind there is also the touch of the divine mind, but you have once again to believe and to know that you deserve it. Because you know, my beloved ones, a lot of your scientists speaks about your brain. They speak and they say to you that the most development people with the most high IQ of them use only a very specific part of their brain, only between 5 to 10% of your brain. But you have to understand one thing, my beloved one. I know that for few of you, or many, the thing that I'm going to tell you now will be sound like a fantasy. But you have to understand that because you do not believe that you deserve, because you do not believe that you can, because that you do not believe that it can be real, you do not allow yourself to use all the powers and all the tools that you have into you, into your brain, into your emotional body, into your heart, and also in your etherical and physical bodies. Dear ones, just allow yourself, even if it seems to be a fantasy for you, allow yourself to start to believe that you do deserve to accept it. I know it seems to be for you like מדע בדיוני, science fiction. But what you can reach by building, when you use all of your powers as a human being, as the tools of human being that you got, it's something that cannot be described by your mental thinking right now. Because right now, because of your beliefs, your mental thinking is limited. You have to understand, how do we see you? Your body, your physical body, is much more giant, can be much more giant and much more powerful, with much more abilities than you think it can be. it's like seeds in your DNA. But because you do not believe it, because it seems to be to you like a science fiction, you do not allow the things to be happened. It also frightens you because it's out of your control. Your control exists of everything that you know. But when something goes out of your limits, when something enters to the place that you do not know yet, it frightens you. And then a lot of times you choose to stay into your limits and not to develop more than them. And this is the reason, beloved ones, that you do not allow yourself to develop to what you are, and you are giant, much more than you know, much more than you think. Your etherical body is giant also. It has functions that can be done of creation materials. As now you start to learn that when person is in something,
a person what?
שאדם חולה, sick in something.
Is sick in some way.
The sickness, not first of all, but a step before the body, the physical body, it creates in the etherical body, and then it passes to the physical body. It starts much more deeper than this, because it starts in the lesson that the soul of the person chose to learn. And then, by the circumstances of life that the soul creates, the beliefs, the deepest beliefs of the unconsciousness creates. And those beliefs creates reality.
Yes.
They create emotions, and the emotions creates energy, and the energy creates material. And by this, the illness becomes from the choose of the soul to the beliefs of the unconsciousness, to the emotions that creates it, to the energy that creates from those emotions, and to the physical changes that happens because of the changes of the energy, because of the emotions, the beliefs, and the lesson that your soul chose to learn. This part, my beloved one, is only a small part of the abilities that you have in your etherical body. Your etherical body is also like a transformator, a giant transformator that can change energies. By this body, you can also help when you're working with, for example, with sexual energy. You can also to manifest energy to material through the help of your etherical body. But this is only one of the abilities that you have, and still seems to you to see like a science fiction. And your emotional body, how can we describe it? Your emotional body can save other words. Your emotional body can bring you to be one with God, and also can bring you to be one with your deepest fears. But when, even if you choose, even if your soul choose to bring you to be one with your deepest fears, you have to understand that exactly in this emotional body you have the abilities to transform and to change it into the most deepest love, huge love and whole love that can be exist. A love that comes from the Most High God until the love that between a person to his family, a couple, or a child to his mother, or every other kind of love. From the most spirituality love to the most physical love that can be exist. Your emotional body can heal.
Jesus Christ.
It has many, many abilities that because you do not believe you deserve, and because you do not believe that you have it, you still do not give yourself to try and use it. My dear love, my beloved ones,
Jesus.
your fears from the change is so deep because you know that there is no way back. When you will choose to go forward, when you will choose to be one with what you are, the ability to do miracles in your reality will be exist and presence in your everyday life. The ability to do miracles, my beloved one, you have to understand it. And then the thing that you have to, אני לא יודעת איך אומרים את זה באנגלית, אני לא יודעת גם אם אני אוכל להסביר לך. יש את המילה בעברית שהכוונה היא לצלוח. לצלוח זה כמו לעבור.
Rea. Noam says she's using a word here that you will be able to litzloach, which means to pass.
זה לעבור בהצלחה.
To pass with success.
זה כמו שיש נהר שצריך לעבור
A
אותו.
river that you have to pass.
שצריך לעבור אותו מההתחלה ועד הסוף בסירת משוטים.
That you have to pass from the beginning to the end in a raft.
בסירה של משוטים שצריך לחתור עם המשוטים.
I think a raft. אין שליטה על הסירה, נכון?
יש שליטה.
No, but there is control.
זה לא מנוע. It's not has a...
but it has like rows. You can row it.
You can roll it,
Paddle.
but you cannot... there is no motor into it.
Okay.
It's like you have to... תסתכל רגע אליהו. Like
to row.
this.
To row.
Yes, okay. So you have to row, and sometimes it's also against the stream.
Yes.
But you have to pass it, and this is the river, dear ones, is your fear.
Yes.
Is the fear to be who you are
really.
Who you really are.
The famous quote from Nelson Mandela, that our greatest fear is not of our darkness, but of our light.
Exactly.
Because it's our light that challenges us to be what we can be.
Because we know the little places in ourselves, but we do not know what is beyond the limit of what we think and what we see and what we believe about ourselves.
Yes. And that scares most people.
Dear ones and beloved ones, you have to understand that, as we said before, the abilities. First, I want to come back to your physical body because I didn't explain to you things about your physical body. one of the abilities that you have in your physical body is the control of its size, is the controls of its material, which means that you can control how much can it be דחוס, איך אומרים דחוס?
Dense?
מה?
Dense.
Dense, and how much you can make it more light, but it's not only light, because there are many stages between this and between the light.
Yeah.
Things that you still do not know. It's מצבי צבירה. I don't know how to say it.
Matsave is like situations in between. You mean in between?
It's like there is ice and there are water and there is gas.
These
but
are the three phases of water.
Exactly, but
you
there are
have
more
something
phases.
in between. Yes.
There are much more phases between.
Okay.
That you, as human beings, still do not know, because you are limited to what you have learned. But
yes.
now, my beloved ones, I invite you to dare to open your mind only to one thing. Only to one thing. To believe that you are deserve. That's all, my love. Not to think about those abilities or that abilities. Just to understand and to let yourself believe and accept that you are deserve to all the good, the abundance, all the giant things that you have into yourself that you didn't discover yet.
Jesus Christ.
So one of the abilities of your physical body is to change its size.
Its density.
That means not only, but also the size, not only the material. Also, you can control to be more fat,
yes,
or more high, as the abilities, but you have to understand that it didn't have been given to you for egoistic reasons.
Yeah.
Only for the things that you need it to make your role. And one of the things to your role about your destiny and your part in the renewal world that you're building now.
Yes.
But you have to understand that there is another thing which is important. And this is the part that sometimes limits. But this part you have necessarily need it.
Necessarily what?
אתם חייבים את החלק הזה גם.
You need it.
This is the part.
You need this part.
This is the part of the ego. The part of the ego has to be worked on. That means that, and I know, my beloved ones, that what I'm going to say, maybe some of you will be angry of what I'm going to say, and maybe others will be laughing about it. But you have to understand that your ego is an essential part of your being, even as a divine being. But the ego has to be balanced.
Yeah.
Because when the ego is too little, you bring yourself to the parts that you are not deserve to everything.
Yes.
And then you make yourself littler and littlest
Yes.
in compare to what you are, can be, and what you are really, what you really are.
Indeed. Indeed.
But when the ego is too much developed, you forget the connection between you and God. And you forget the real connection between you and the God that inside. Because God doesn't have ego. The Most High God doesn't have ego. It's not that you do not have to has an ego, but you have to appreciate what you are, appreciate your abilities, to appreciate everything that you are as a human being and as a divine being. But there is a difference, a big one, beloved ones, between appreciation and knowing to egoism, narcissism, or self-admire.
Yes.
Which this unconnect you to God.
I just heard Lee Carroll, the channeler of Cryon, and a wonderful interview with Jeffrey Hoppe, the channeler of Saint Germain, formerly Tobias. No, I mean, now it's Saint Germain, and then it was Tobias. And when he was getting all these new abilities, Lee Carroll, he said to Cryon, okay, now you've given me all these beautiful things, and what advice can you give me in doing the work? And Cryon said to him, just don't get puffed up with yourself. Okay?
Okay.
Exactly. And that's it, exactly it. Not to get, even when you could do the wonderful things like Lee, and travel the world and teach all over the world. If he gets puffed up with himself, it's all gone.
You have to understand, my beloved ones, that when you do miracles, it's because you are connecting to the God into yourself.
Yeah.
But when you have the ego, you are, איך אומרים את זה באנגלית לנתק?
Cut off.
Cut off the connection between you to the God into yourself. And then, even if you can do miracles, it will gone.
It will be gone.
And it will be empty. It will be like a cover that under this cover there is only a vacuum. So for this, my beloved one, you have to be sure that your ego is balanced, because your ego gives you a tool that can behold all of the things, all of the abilities. When you do not have an ego, you do not have a tool how to contain all the things that you have. But you have to be sure that this tool remembers his tool. And when you are balanced with your ego, you are one with God. You are one with everything you are.
Jesus Christ.
You are one with the wholeness. This, I am speaking forward.
Jesus.
You have to understand that the tools that you have to reach this place is first of all to work on your self-esteem
Yeah.
and believe that you deserve to be
Yeah.
beyond your limits,
Yeah.
and to accept the love of God and your abilities beyond your fears, beyond your limits.
Yeah.
And the second thing, which is not less than the first one, is to work about your ego, your balanced ego. The third thing, which is very important, once again, not less than the others, is to be grounded. Because only when you are grounded, the things may happen. When tree or flower doesn't have roots, if it's flower, it falls off a day or 2 days after it. When a tree doesn't have roots, at the first wind that will be strong enough, it will just pull out of the ground. And therefore, the most important thing to you in this third dimension is to work about your grounding. And your grounding can be done by working on the healing and the connecting among all your low bodies. That means your physical body, etherical body, emotional body, and mental body, to balance them and to cooperate among them. And to be grounded, that means to agree, my beloved ones, to be a full presence human being in this world, in this three-dimensional world, because this is the term Pnai, condition,
the
Pnai.
condition.
This is the condition that can bring you everything else that you want
Take
and
care.
you need.
No, take care.
Mama?
Take care. Tamshik.
Okay.
No, I need it. That's my way of expressing inspiration.
Okay, I didn't hear.
Come
I
on,
didn't understand.
Hasha. Male to be.
Because when you have the grounding, you can take all the giant and magnificent things that you can have, and you can be, and to anchor them into the word of the practice, into your existence and present word. My loved, beloved ones, please understand it. A lot of your spiritual beings are choosing to contact only with the soul and the spiritual levels, in a purpose to reach their destiny and to reach the connection with God. But you have to understand that if you work only upside, but you're not connecting, first of all, deep side, you cannot create everything, you cannot create anything that will be really exist. Because existence is tluya, depends on physical, on material. To become real, to become להתגשם,
to
manifest,
to manifest.
And therefore, my beloved one, You have to create the connection between and among all the parts that are within you, without fear, without depression. Please, beloved one, understand what we said to you before, that
Jesus.
all the things that seems to you bad emotions are giant and magnificent tools for you to do the highest and deepest work that can be done for you, to connect you to who you are, the whole of you, to who you are really are. My beloved one, I hug you very softly.
Gee.
I give you my very deep love, my deepest love. Please be compassionate to yourself. Even when you hear now that you limit yourself with your beliefs, please do not let this knowledge to be a weapon against yourself. Take this understanding, give it hug and give it love, and accept that meanwhile you are here, but you're stepping forward all the time, my beloved ones. Remember that, because one of your tendencies is also to see what has been left to do until reaching the purpose, and not seeing what you have already passed and what you have already done until this time. My beloved one, I hug you very softly. I give you my love. I give you my compassion. Understand, beloved ones, that you are very, very, very protected.
Take care of her.
Very beloved. And the proud that we have in you is unlimited. You know that we are one. You know that we are part of you, and you are part of us, and everything is a giant, beautiful, magnificent, unlimited allness.
Jesus Christ.
I bless you all with love, with light, with healing, deep healing to all of your wounds. I send you my deepest love. We will meet again. Mother Mary.
Eya, teho, teho, teho. Haya, haya, haya. Teho, teho.
To that.
Okay, now. Is there anybody else who wants to come? יש עוד מישהו שרוצה להגיד משהו?
סביר להניח שיש.
Okay.
אבל אני מרגישה שזה היה מאוד עוצמתי.
It was.
אז יכול להיות שכדאי שנעשה הפסקה.
Let's do a break.